So now let us proceed on the different types of protective lighting. So under that, we have here the first one, the so-called stationary luminary lighting. So if we say stationary luminary lighting, by the word itself, stationary, then syempre ito po ay hindi natin na i-move. Okay? So yan, nandyan na po yung flood lighting na meron tayo as an example. So yun, hindi po yan na-move. As you can see in the picture, those are an example. Street lights natin or installation of street lights. So yun po yung tinatawag natin na stationary luminary lighting. So meaning hindi po yan nagagalaw. So concentrate or focus dyan sa iisang area. So that is under stationary luminary lighting. And then under this also meron tayong two kinds. Okay? There are two kinds of stationary luminary lighting. So meron po yung tinatawag natin na glare projection type. So dito po sa glare projection type, ang focus po niyan is the point of entry or the intruder. Okay? So yung intensity ng illumination or ng lighting po natin, it is focused on the intruder. And then anong na-mention pa dyan? While the observer or the guard remained in the comparative darkness. So, it is somewhat a kind of technique, okay, in installation of protective lighting. So, yun, yung focus ng yung focus ng lighting natin is nakafocus dun sa may bandang intruder or dun sa point of entry, okay? And then yun, the guard or the area wherein the guard is posted or located, it is dark, okay? It remained in comparative darkness. So, anong advantage nun? So, yun, yung advantage niyan, di ba? Hindi ma-observe or hindi malalaman or hindi makikita agad ng intruder kung nasaan yung guard. So, yan yung advantage ng glare projection type of lighting. So, now, let us try to create an example just to show some advantages and disadvantages of the so-called glare projection type kind of stationary luminary lighting. So, let us have here Mr. Robin. Sabihin natin, si Robin na ito isang batikang magnanakaw and then usually gabi siya umatake. Ngayon, meron siyang nakitang mansion. So, yun yung balak niyang pasukin ngayon. Sabihin natin that the kind of protective lighting that was installed there is the so-called glare projection type. So as we have mentioned, in glare projection type, nakafocus yung ilaw natin, yung illumination ng ilaw natin dun sa point of entry or dun sa entrance. And then, ano pa yon? Yung sa security guards naman natin, dun sa area kung saan nakapwesto yung security guards natin is madilim. Okay? Or in comparative darkness. So, ang mangyayari dyan, si Robin, hindi niya makikita yung security guard. So, yun, the glare projection type is, or that is one of the advantage of the glare projection type. So, hindi makikita ng perpetrator yung security guard or kung saan nakapwesto yung security guard natin. So, that is an advantage. And now, another advantage naman on the part of the security guard is that hindi siya ma-at risk. Sabihin natin merong armas merong baril si Mr. Robin. Sabihin natin may baril siya. So anong mangyayari kapag hindi glare projection type of stationary luminary lighting yung in-apply natin or yung method natin? So ang mangyayari, makikita niya, 'di ba? Makikita ni Robin, pag nakita ni Robin yung security guard kung saan nakapwesto, pwede na lang niyang barilin, 'di ba? Or pagplanuhan, paano ko kaya itutumba yung security guard? So yun, yun yung isang advantage pa rin ng natin ng glare projection type. Hindi makikita ng perpetrator or intruder yung pwesto ng security guards natin, so that is considered to be as advantage din on the part of the security guard dun sa safety niya. Okay? Kasi kapag nakikita, pwedeng mapagplanuhan kung paano itumba or pwede na lang barilin kasi alam naman niya kung saan nakapwesto. Unlike dun sa madilim, hindi makikita. So that is one advantage for the security also of the lives of or the dun sa threat, dun sa buhay or seguridad nung security guard natin. So that is only an example just to show you the effectiveness or the advantage of glare projection type. So isa lamang po yan or ilan lamang po yan. And then next one, it is under still the kinds of stationary luminary lighting, meron po tayo yung tinatawag na controlled lighting. So, dito naman sa controlled lighting, kung dun sa glare projection type, nakafocus dun sa point of entry, dito naman sa controlled lighting, it is focused dun sa items. Okay? Dun sa protected items na meron tayo. So, as you can see in the picture, an example po dyan sa mga jewelry stores or dun sa mga museum. So, yun, di ba? Meron tayo yung mga ilaw or yung lightings nila nakafocus dun sa items. Okay? Pile of items natin. So, yun po yung tinatawag natin or method of controlled lighting. So, take note of that. Glare projection, focus on the point of entry. And then on controlled lighting, focused on the pile of items. Okay? Protected. So, that is the two kinds of stationary luminary lighting. So now, let us proceed on the so-called standby lighting. So simply dito naman sa standby lighting, syempre by the word standby, it will serve as backup, kumbaga. Okay? Backup in a way na turn on lang ito. It's either manually or a special device or it will be turned on automatically. Pero yung purpose niyan, it is to give an additional lighting. In times na kulang yung illumination ng lighting na regular na ginagamit natin. So, simply, basta tandaan ninyo, standby lighting, it serves as backup. Okay? Kung kinakailangan lang ito nagagamit. So, yan yung standby lighting na sinasabi natin. And then now, the third type of protective lighting na meron tayo dito is the so-called movable lighting. So, simply, by the word movable, ito naman yung kabaliktaran ng standby lighting ng kabaliktaran ng stationary lighting na meron tayo. So, itong movable, meron na po tayo dyan. An example, yung searchlights, or yung mga flashlights na ginagamit natin. Okay? So, yun po yung tinatawag natin na movable lighting. So, it could be searchlights and other type of lighting na transfer na igagalaw natin or na i-move. So, yan po yung number 3. And then the fourth one we have here now, the so-called emergency lighting. So take note, ang confusing lang po dito is standby and emergency lighting, di ba? So parehas po yan na it can be turned on manually or it can be turned on automatically in some instances. So yan po yung confusing na dalawa, standby and emergency lighting. Ang pagkakaiba lang po niyan dito sa emergency lighting, that is turned on only in times of emergencies na biglaan nawalang or biglaan, sabihin natin biglaang nag-brown out. So yan po yung tinatawag natin na emergency lighting. So yung mga lighting or protective lightings that was installed that will automatically or that can be turned on manually in times of emergencies. Okay? In such a way na nawalan ng kuryente. So, anong pagkakaiba niyan sa standby lighting? So, sabi natin sa standby lighting is backup. Okay? Not purposely in times of emergency. So, yan, yung standby lighting, pwede natin gamitin yan even though it's not in times of emergency. So, gagamitin natin. Purposely po niyan is to give more light. Okay? Provide more light. So, backup po siya. So, yun po yung pagkakaiba ng standby dun sa emergency lighting. So, yun, take note of that kasi yan po yung medyo confusing. Just take note of the purpose. Okay, yung purpose or yung reason kung bakit siya na to turn on. Yan yung standby and emergency lighting natin. So, those are the 4 types of protective lighting na meron tayo dyan sa notes ninyo. Now, let us proceed on the general types of lighting sources. Meron naman tayo dito yung number 1 na na-mention natin kanina, the so-called incandescent lamp. Okay, so dito, it was said to be the least expensive. So, ito yung considered to be as cheap in a way. Ito yung nabibili natin noon usually na ginagamit din or ini-install sa mga indoors natin or sa mga houses natin. So yun, in terms of energy consume and has the advantage of providing an instant illumination when the switch is on. So meron kasi yung protective lightings or mga lighting sources natin na kinakailangan ng 5 seconds para lang ma-turn on. So yung incandescent lamp, that can be switched on easily, okay, or at an instant. Yung pagkakaiba niyan or yung description ng ilaw niyan is yellowish kung mapapansin ninyo dyan sa picture natin. So that is an incandescent lamp. Take note, it is considered to be the least expensive in terms of energy consumed. Okay? So yun, meron naman tayo yung tinatawag na mercury vapor lamp. Okay? So again, mercury vapor lamp na tinatawag natin. Dito naman, it was considered to be more efficient than incandescent lamp. Bakit kaya more efficient? Kasi it can be used also in exterior lighting. Kasi sa incandescent lamp, hindi po yan ideal na gamitin sa outside. Okay? That is only purposely usually for indoors, okay, sa mga rooms, okay, small places. So yan po yung incandescent and mercury vapor lamp. Aside from that, this emits a purplish white color rendition, as you can see in the picture na pinoproject natin. Purplish white color po. Doon sa sa incandescent lamp, yellowish color po yung illumination of light na meron siya. Okay, and then yan po yung pagkakaiba ng mercury vapor doon sa incandescent lamp na meron tayo. And then next type or another kind of lighting source na meron tayo, the so-called metal halide. So ano naman ito? It was mentioned here, it has similar appearance, physical appearance with mercury vapor, but provides a light source of higher luminous efficiency and better color rendition. Okay, so in comparison, take note dun kasi sa kulay ng mercury vapor, purplish white yung color niya. So parang medyo masakit sa mata kung minsan yung color rendition niya. Pero itong yung metal halide, yung yung pinoproduce na light nito, as you can see on our picture, we have here white color rendition. So it produces better color rendition. Okay, unlike doon sa mercury vapor. So magkaparehas lang, yun lang yung pagkakaiba, yung kulay ng light, okay, na pinoproduce. And then next type of lighting source, ito naman yung pinaka-common ngayon. Okay, or just sabihin natin, pwede rin naman kasi existing pa rin to ngayon. Pero yun, kasi ang pinaka-common na ngayon yung tinatawag natin na LED lights. Okay? Pero tignan muna natin kung ano ba tong fluorescent. So this provides good color rendition, high lamp efficiency as well as long life. Kaya ito yung nagagamit natin usually. Fluorescent lamps or fluorescent bulbs na ito. So, yun nga lang, it cannot project light over long distances. Kaya kung mapapansin nyo dyan sa picture na meron tayo, napakarami or bawat yung spaces, yung gap between the installation of fluorescent bulbs magkakalapit. Kasi yun nga, fluorescent bulbs cannot project or cannot cover a wide area. So, yan yung disadvantage niya. Pero yun, ang advantage naman yan, it provides good color rendition kasi yung sa incandescent lamp, diba, parang nakakasilaw. Ang pangit ng color rendition niya, yellowish. Pero itong fluorescent, white color rendition. So, mas maganda. And then, long-lasting pa yung lifespan niya. Yun yung advantage ng fluorescent lamp or fluorescent bulbs na meron tayo. And the next type, we have here the so-called high-pressure sodium vapor. So, high-pressure sodium vapor, it is usually for outdoors also. So, yan, makikita natin yan usually sa mga parking areas also, roadways, buildings, and other commercial interior installation or outdoors also. It can also be used under or in outdoors or in indoors. So, pwede kahit sa dalawa. And then, constructed as same principle as the mercury vapor lamps. And then, meron lang dito yung pagkakaiba naman. Emit a golden to light pink color. And this provide high lumen efficiency and relatively good color rendition. So, kanina, meron yung sa mercury vapor lamp na mention natin that it emits a purplish white color. Dito naman sa high pressure sodium vapor, it creates or it illuminates golden. Okay, golden or golden to light pink color rendition. So yun, just take note, itong pagkakaiba is more on golden color. Okay, golden color ang pinuproduce naman ng high pressure sodium vapor na meron tayo. And then yon, it can be used also in outdoors. And then we have here the next one, other types of lighting sources na meron tayo. Meron tayo yung tinatawag na gaseous discharge lamp. Okay, ito yung isa sa pinaka yung na-mention natin kanina. Hindi to ideal sa security. Hindi to ideal na i-install as a security or as a protective lighting na meron tayo. Kasi, yung na-mention dyan, it requires how many minutes? It requires a period of 2 minutes to 5 minutes to light. Okay? Kinakailangan mong mag-antay pa ng 2 or 5 minuto para mag-turn on. So, paano na lang kapag sabihin natin, emergency, nagkaroon ng brownout. So, yun, anong mangyari? Kailangan mo na namang hintayin ang 2 to 5 minutes para lang mag-switch on. So, pwedeng gamitin na opportunity ng intruder yun para makatakas or makapasok doon sa installation mo. Will serve as vulnerableness or vulnerability in your area. So, hindi po ideal yan. Okay, pwede rin. Meron din daw yung instances when hot or after a power interruption or even, it was mentioned, when they are cold and even longer to relight when hot or after a power of interruption. Kasi, sometimes, kinakailangan mong palamigin na naman to para lang, bago mo ito ma-switch on na naman. So, yan yung disadvantage talaga ng gaseous discharge lamp na ito. Okay, and then, meron naman tayo dito, quartz lamp. So, simply sa quartz lamp naman na ito, this lamp emits a very bright white light. So, yun, and snap on almost as rapidly as incandescent lamp. So, yun lang ang pagkakaiba naman nito sa incandescent lamp. It creates, kasi parehas sila they can produce light at an instant. Yun nga lang yung color rendition. So, white, yung kulay naman ng quartz lamp, yellowish dun sa incandescent lamp. And then, they are frequently used at a high voltage. So, mas magastos ito or the consume. Okay? Power consumption is mas gasto or mas matakaw, okay, sa power consumption. Yun nga lang, ang advantage naman nito kasi ang incandescent lamp, they can only be used on indoors. Pero ito, pwedeng magamit itong quartz lamp doon sa mga perimeter barriers natin or outdoors natin. So, yun lang naman yung advantage naman niya. So, yun. Yun yung pagkakaiba ng incandescent sa quartz lamp. So, tandaan ninyo, quartz lamp pwedeng magamit yan sa outdoor. Okay? And can be used as a protective lighting on outdoor, especially on perimeter barriers na meron tayo. And then, meron pa tayo ditong maidadagdag na pinakahuli as a type of lighting sources na meron tayo. Ito yung pinaka-latest or common na ginagamit natin ngayon. Kasi, meron itong advantage or mas may advantage ito kaysa dun sa fluorescent. Okay? Meron yung tinatawag natin na light emitting diode or LED or LED lights na meron tayo. So, ano bang advantage nito? So, it was mentioned here, LEDs have an extremely long lifespan. Mas matagal yung lifespan niyan kaysa dun sa fluorescent light or fluorescent bulbs natin na yon. Okay? And then, relative to every other lighting technology, as we have said a while ago. So, yun, na-mention dyan yung numbers or new LEDs can last 50,000 to 100 hours or more. Okay? 100 hours or more. So, that could be how many years yan. Okay? Or it can reach years with that kind of numbers of hours na meron tayo. Let us try to convert yung 1,000 or 100 hours po na yan into days or into into days, aabot po yan ng 4,100 days. Okay, kung i-convert natin yung 1,000, yung 100 hours na yan. So, it is composed of 4,100 plus, okay, somewhat 4,100 days. So, aabot po yan ng ilang taon. So, yan po yung advantage ng LED light. Unlike dun sa fluorescent lamp, napapansin natin dyan, parang 1 taon lang or 6 months, umiitim na yung bumbilya. Okay? So, yun, hindi masyado nagtatagal yung lifespan niya. Yun yung pagkakaiba or isang advantage ng LED light. Okay, and then sabi pa dyan, LEDs are extremely energy efficient relative to every other commercially distributed lighting sources. So yun, it is more efficient than fluorescent. Kaya ito na yung pinoproduce nila na mga pailaw natin ngayon. And then very high light quality, syempre maliwanag, and then very low maintenance cost and hassle. Okay, so yan po yung different types of lighting sources na meron tayo. Okay, so take note of those. Now, let us proceed on the different types of lighting equipment naman. So, simply, meron po tayo number 1 dyan, yung floodlights na tinatawag natin. So, as you can see in the picture, floodlights can be used in gymnasiums. That could be used also in parking areas or any outdoor areas. So, usually, yan po ginagamit sa labas or outdoor. So, actually, it is also a kind of stationary lighting wherein nakafocus siya in a certain area. Kung mapapansin ninyo, hindi po yan nagagalaw. Nakafocus po siya in a certain wide area. So, yan po yung tinatawag natin na floodlights. So, different po yan sa controlled lighting na sinasabi natin kasi sa controlled lighting, it is focused dun sa pile of items. Pero dito sa sa floodlight, it is focused on a wide area. Okay? So, that could be also used in or applied in perimeter boundaries or any areas or vital areas dun sa area of responsibility natin. Okay? So, yan po yung sinasabi natin na floodlights. And then the next one, we have here the so-called street lights. So, yan yung pinaka-popular that is commonly used on the sides of the streets in order to, or purposely also, to deter criminality. Okay? So, bigyan ng ilaw dun sa mga kalsada. Street, usually, meron yung mga tao na dumadaan every night or umuwi ng gabi in order for them or in order to deter yung mga illegal acts or criminalities. Street lights are there, okay, to provide lighting dun sa mga area wherein they can be victimized. Okay, so that is the so-called street lights. And we have here the next one, searchlights. So those are usually installed dun sa mga prisons natin din. Okay, in searchlights, they are movable. Okay, so yan po yung tinatawag natin na searchlights. They can be moved also. Okay, and it was mentioned there, these are highly focused incandescent lamp and are designed to pinpoint potential trouble spots as you can see in the picture. So, pwede nilang itutok yan kung saan nila gustong tignan or i-check kung ano yung nandun sa lugar na yan. Okay, or dun sa spot na yan. And then we have here the second one, the so-called Fresnel lights. So, ito naman, these are wide beams units primarily used to extend illumination in long horizontal strips to protect approaches to the perimeter barrier. So, makikita nyo po yan sa picture, yan pong item na yan or yung Fresnel lights na yan. In comparison with searchlights, pwede po natin ma-move yung searchlights in any area or in any potential or pwede natin yung itutok in any position or in any potential trouble spots. Pero itong Fresnel lights, yes, it can create a long illumination okay, of light, okay, horizontally. Yun nga lang, it can be moved only approximately 180 degrees in the horizontal and from 15 to 30 degrees in vertical plane. So, hindi po natin yan ma-move in at 360 angle. So, yan ay ma-move lang natin at that certain kind of degree. Okay? So, yan po yung tinatawag natin na Fresnel lights. Okay? And then we have here the areas to be lighted. Okay? Let us take a look on those areas that needed to be considered to be installed with protective lightings. So, meron po tayo dyan, automatic po, vehicular grate. Okay? Para makita natin yung mga mukha, yung mga plate number, of course, ng mga pumapasok dun sa area natin. Plate number ng mga sasakyan, kung sino yung mga nakasakay, and then other concerns. Okay, so yan, pinaka-importante vehicular gate din natin. Okay, so para ma-check natin kung sino-sino or kung sino yung or kung ano yung mga sasakyan na pumapasok sa area natin. Next area that should be needed or that is needed to be lighted is the so-called pedestrian gate. So, automatic po yan. Kinakailangan natin yan for safety purposes din po ng ating mga pedestrians. So, yung mga tao na gumagamit or dumadaan doon sa mga kalsada or palabas doon sa gate natin. So, yun po yung tinutukoy natin dyan. Okay, pedestrian gates should be lighted also. And then, we have here the thoroughfare. So, syempre, thoroughfare, they should be needed also to be lighted. So, meron pong standard na nakalagay dyan. They should be lighted also to at least 0.01 foot candles for security purposes. So, kapag thoroughfare po na sinasabi natin, thoroughfare na ito yung tawiran. Okay? Makikita na yan usually sa ano rin. In some malls, meron yung area kung saan tumatawid yung mga tao. In other words, parang pedestrian lanes, kumbaga. So, yun, it should be needed also to be lighted with foot candles as you can see in some pictures na meron tayo dyan para at least makita, ma-determine, okay, na yan ay tawiran ng mga tao or ginagamit yan as crossing area, okay, para ma-warningan, especially if that is in roadways. So, yun, mapansin again ng mga motorist, especially at night, mapansin na yan ay tawiran, then they can slow down. So, that is for security or safety purposes din ng ating mga pedestrians. And then we have here the next one, still on the areas that needed to be lighted is our parking areas. Of course, number 1 po yan din concern din natin. Parking areas kasi anong pwedeng or possible crimes na makomit dyan, usually yan yung area kung saan pwedeng manakaw yung mga sasakyan or carnapping will be occurring. Okay? So, yun. Next one is the so-called sensitive areas. So, any areas that can be considered as sensitive. So, nandyan po yung area kung saan nakalagay yung mga vital or valuable items natin. So, yun, sa safe natin, okay, vaults natin, storage depots, any other sensitive areas. Depende na lang po yan sa establishment or kind ng business na meron ka or kind ng building na meron ka and any other factors. So, yun po yung mga areas that should be needed or that are needed to be lighted. So, those are only some actually. Hindi po natin mabanggit lahat-lahat. So, yun. To include all sensitive areas. Any sensitive areas dun sa installation or dun sa area mo, then those should be installed with protective lighting. So, that is all about what we so-called protective lighting.